What's up guys, this is Sam from Top Training. Today we're just going to be in the kitchen doing a little meal prep, cooking in bulk. So today we have some chicken breasts. We're going to do sweet potatoes here. For vegetables, we're going to hit some Brussels sprouts. And then I also have some fish, I think tilapia and salmon, and also some ground turkey, ground beef. I find that this helps me kind of stay prepared throughout the week, and for a lot of people, if they don't have food that's pre-cooked in the fridge, it seems like they struggle more with the meal plan or nutrition plan that they're trying to follow. So we're gonna be doing a lot of work in the oven today, baking the chicken breast, potatoes, and Brussels sprouts. So I'm gonna try to be as efficient as possible with it, so you're not wasting time putting one thing in, taking another out, and putting another in. Which means we're gonna start with the sweet potatoes because those are gonna take the longest, so let's get those in the oven first. With the sweet potatoes, usually I just rinse them off in some cold water, kind of rub them a little bit. I don't always scrub them, but if you really wanna make sure the outside dirt's washed off and everything, you could scrub them a little bit. If you want, you can bake the sweet potato whole. It's just gonna take a lot longer. Like these three might take over an hour, hour and a half to get it nice and soft. So usually I like to dice them up into little cubes because it cooks faster, and I also think it's a little easier to kind of portion it out, measure it out into different meals that you might want. Oh, Jesus Christ. This thing's fucking huge. There we go. Boop. All right, so we got our 1,600 grams, that's 3 big ass sweet potatoes in the bowl. And now I'm gonna put on a little olive oil, probably just like a tablespoon maybe. You can just measure it out, or I don't know, usually I just eyeball it. About a tablespoon, it's like 14 grams or so. So once we got the olive oil in there, kind of like to shake it up a little bit. I might even separate these into two because there's so many of them. I didn't think it was gonna get this big. So we got 2 bowls, and you kind of wanna shake it out, mix it around so the olive oil spreads all over the sweet potatoes. Usually I just do a light coat of olive oil spray on the bottom as well. I already did that one. And then we're just gonna spread our chunks out a little bit on the pan. I'm gonna use 2 pans because you don't wanna stack them. You kinda just wanna go one layer of sweet potatoes. Otherwise, they won't cook right. Chunks. That's a little tighter fit than I want, but that's okay, it's gonna work. I'll probably stir them about halfway through. So we're gonna throw a little seasoning on the sweet potatoes. You could just do a little salt and pepper if you want. I like to use the Flavor God. I have a bunch of different flavors. Lately I've been doing this Himalayan salt and pink peppercorn, and a little lemon and garlic. So just get a little bit on there, spread it out. It's the Himalayan salt. And I'll come in with a little lemon and garlic. All right, so sweet potato chunkers, good to go. Got the oven at like 375. Sometimes I'll do a little 425, 450, but since we're gonna be cooking the chicken and the Brussels sprouts too, I'm gonna go 375. So these are going in. And we will maybe stir them up a little bit halfway through, but we'll show that later. So those are good to go. I'm gonna set a timer. Oh, I'm gonna say 30 minutes, and then we'll flip them at about 30. For a green vegetable, we're gonna go with some Brussels sprouts. So what we'll do is we'll weigh out, I don't know, maybe a pound. So there's about 700 grams of Brussels sprouts. Put them in this pasta strainer to rinse them out. Might be some dirt on there. Maybe spray them down a little bit. So with the Brussels, all we're really looking to do is chop this little nubby thing off and then slice it in half. That's it for those. So then we'll hit maybe like another tablespoon of that olive oil. Maybe a little less with these, not as much as the sweet potatoes. Drizzle it around. And we'll just swirl it up a little bit so they're fully covered. I put enough oil in these. I'm not gonna coat the pan again. So we'll just do these like that. And we will also season them up a little bit with the lemon garlic. Okay, so we're going in with these Brussels sprouts. Got room on our bottom rack here. Usually I go about 30-35 minutes with those, so we'll keep an eye on those along with our sweet potatoes there. All right, so since the sweet potatoes and the Brussels sprouts are gonna take the longest, now we're gonna get to the chicken breasts. So these are just boneless, skinless chicken breasts. I didn't go around and like chop the fat off. If you wanna get rid of the extra fat, you can. If there's big chunks, I'll pick them off and throw them away, but I usually don't get the knife out and being perfect with it. So I'm just gonna weigh these out just because I'm curious. It's 6 chicken breasts, but they're kind of all different sizes. So I got around 1,400 grams, which is a little over 3 pounds, 3.1 pounds of chicken breasts. So I pre-sprayed one of our baking pans again with a little tin foil, and we're just gonna slap these on there. I kind of like to go actually upside down, like so the smooth part is on the bottom, because I find like when I season them, I can kind of get some of the seasonings in like the cracks, and it just helps the seasoning stay in there better. All right, so for chicken breasts, usually I season them up. Sometimes I marinate them. I mean, I would recommend doing something. Plain chicken breast with no flavor, like that, just I don't really like that. So I'd recommend using seasoning or like a marinade. So if you marinate them, let them sit for a few hours or do it overnight. With the seasonings, I usually do the Flavor God. I got a few different kinds here. I also have a savory herbs with roasted garlic seasoning from Costco. So I'm gonna use a mix of different seasonings for these. So we got our vegetables roasting up in there. We'll probably flip the sweet potatoes around soon. Keep an eye on those Brussels sprouts. I like them pretty crispy, a little brown, so just keep an eye on it, and at the end, I'll show you rough times for it. All right, so chicken breast, good to go, seasoned up. We're gonna stick this in the oven, 375, maybe about a half hour, and we'll see you when they're done. All right, so a little bit of fish. I'm not gonna do a ton because I just don't need a lot of fish this week. I already have a ton of chicken. But a couple I like is this mahi-mahi with blackened seasoning and marinated wild Alaskan salmon. Both of these I get at Costco. So I'm just gonna do one of each kind, show you guys how to do it. They come in pre-packaged deals, pre-marinated. So all you gotta do, cut it open. I pre-coated the pan, a little olive oil spray. So that's the mahi. And then we got our marinated salmon. Both of these, usually do it like 375 to 400 for 15 to 20 minutes. I'm just gonna use 375 because that's what we have everything else at that's cooking right now. So I think we're just gonna have enough room, barely, to fit this fish in there. So we'll slide it in right there. Oven is full. And we'll see you in a little bit. All right, so just gonna do a little seasoning on the ground turkey. I got the Flavor God, everything spicy. I also like taco seasoning or the garlic lovers, whatever, just mix it up. A little bit on there. Also, I forgot to mention, we have the heat on, just like medium, high. And I'm just stirring it around, breaking it apart as it cooks up here. Shouldn't take more than like 8 to 10 minutes. So the ground turkey is, it's getting pretty brown. It's almost done. I'm just gonna probably crank that heat down to low or just off and kind of let it simmer on low. And just let it sit there and soak up the juices, the fat that's leaving on the pan. Spread it out. So that's super easy, just a pound of ground turkey that you can take out of a Tupperware during the week, reheat with some rice, eggs, whatever you want. So sweet potatoes have been in there for about a half hour. I'm gonna take these out so we can kind of shuffle them around a little bit. Let's turn these Brussels around a little bit. So Brussels sprouts, let's move these around a little bit. Maybe like 10 to 15 more on those. All right, so ground turkey's done. That only took like 10 minutes. That's easy. Fish is probably ready to come out. It's probably been about 18 minutes, 18 to 20 minutes, 375. It's our salmon and mahi, that can come out. So left that's going. Chicken's gonna probably be another 5 minutes or so. And then sweet potatoes and Brussels sprouts probably let go a little bit longer. Chicken breast, probably been about a half hour, a little over 30 minutes. We got the 6 of them. We'll pop that out. Oh yeah, nice and juicy. And then we'll just let that sit up here. And you know, those juices will soak in a little bit. Usually I let it sit 5 to 10 minutes, let it cool before eating it or storing it. I think these Brussels sprouts are good to go. It's been like 30, 35 minutes. And you can see, you know, some of them are getting a little brown. That's usually when I like to take them out. All right, it's about 45 minutes or so on the sweet potatoes. So I think we can take those out. We'll test them a little bit, see how soft they are with a spatula here. Yeah, I think those are about good to go. So I'm gonna take the other one out too. Big old pan. Oh yeah, those look nice. So there it is. We got our sweet potatoes, chicken breast, some fish, pound of ground turkey, and some Brussels sprouts. All right guys, so there you have it. Food prep for the week. It was under 1 hour. We did a ton of food. We got the sweet potatoes, the chicken breast, the Brussels sprouts, the ground turkey, a little bit of fish. This is stuff you can just pull out of the fridge throughout the week, reheat in the microwave. You know, I'll take the sweet potatoes and throw them in scrambled eggs. You could have it with the chicken. You could chop up your chicken, make flatbread pizzas, wraps, use it in salads. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this leftover food. So that's it for today, and we'll see you next time.